the healer strike that is going on right now is kind of silly, outrageous, and unnecessary, in my opinion. So, if you don't know what the healer strike is, it is a strike that is happening right now in Rivals, where people in the community are refusing to play healers. And there's a few reasons why they're not playing healer, but I think the main reason why they're not playing healer is due to elo. So healers are not getting enough elo compared to DPS and some tanks. Some tanks are kind of having this issue as well, not all the tanks, but some tanks are having the issue as well with the elo not getting enough elo when they get a win. So when you get a win, you're not getting enough elo as compared to DPS. When you lose, you aren't losing as much elo as you were before because of the performance-based ranking system. So for people that aren't aware, Season 2 did change the ranking system completely to performance-based ranking. Now, at first, I was a big fan of this because I was running into some bad teammates back in the Season 1. So I was kind of all for with this performance-based ranking system. But right now, there's some flaws with the performance-based ranking system because you're not getting enough elo. Even if you pop off as support or as a certain tank, if you pop off, you're not getting enough elo as compared to a DPS. So the performance ranking in a hero shooter game like Rivals or Overwatch does not work. It shouldn't be based off of performance. It should be based off of teamwork. You win as a team, you lose as a team, right? That's just how it is. So if you lose as a team, this is how much elo you should lose, especially if everyone pops off on your team. This is how much elo you should lose. If you pop off as a team and you win, this is how much elo you should gain. So I hope that they kind of avoid this performance rank matchmaking, not performance rank matchmaking, performance-based ranking, and kind of shift over to back to a team-based rank. Because that's how it should be done. But it should be done a better way when it comes to team. Because if you pop off as a team and you lose, you shouldn't lose a significant amount of elo. You should only lose like a certain amount of elo if you lose. If you win, this is how much you should get. I'm not going to really go too much into how much you should lose and get if you win or lose. That's kind of something that they need to tweak and kind of work with themselves. Now, Rivals did come out and address that healers and some tanks are not getting enough elo as compared to DPS, and that they will address it in the next patch. So Rivals has acknowledged that there is an issue with the elo system and they are working on getting it fixed. But me personally, I think the performance ranking system shouldn't be a thing, especially in team shooters. It shouldn't be a thing. Ranking system should be based on team playability. If the team is playing phenomenal, that's how much elo you should get. If you win or lose, it should be based on team performance, not individual performance. But the fact that they are going to address it in the next patch, which I don't know when they'll address it, could be next week, could be a week before Season 2.5. It's going to be interesting to see how they address it. It could work, it could not, so I'm looking forward to see how they cook with this and address this elo situation. But the fact that Rivals is acknowledging the community and willing to work with the community to make things better, I'm looking forward to see how they resolve this elo issue. Again, we don't know when it's going to come out. It says in the next patch, which, like I said, could be next week, it could be a week before Season 2.5, no one knows. Season 2 has only been out for about 2 weeks now. Season 2.5 is scheduled to come out at the end of May. So when this next patch comes out, could it come out next week? Could it come out the week before Season 2.5? Could it come out in Season 2.5? I don't know. So I'm interested to see the next patch, how this elo system works, and if it will be better for ranking or if it will be worse for the ranking system. So I'm looking forward to see how they address it. Another reason why people are refusing to play healer is because of Necro's comments. So if you don't know who Necros is, he is a popular streamer and a popular Rivals player who stated recently that support takes no skill. Now, as a healer main, I will say healer is an easier role, but as far as it takes no skill, I would disagree. The reason why I say it takes skill, especially now, is because for me, when I solo queue, 99% of the time, I'm getting dove and I'm dying by divers. I'm not getting any help from DPS or any tanks. I would say right now, I'm not really having that much of a situation. But in Season 1 and Season 1.5, I was having that issue where DPS and tanks were not helping their healers out. So protect your healers if you're a DPS or tank, please. Because back in the season, I was not having that situation. This season, I'm not having that as much, but it's still a thing. It's still an issue going on today. And as a healer, you have to be able to heal your teammates and also know when to switch to do a little bit of damage and to protect yourself and also keep your team alive on top of it. So as far as it takes no skill, I would say I disagree with that. I will say, though, it is an easier role because as a healer, you're not doing... The damage output for some healers are not the greatest. Like Cloak and Dagger, for example. The damage output is not the greatest as compared to a Mantis. If you're hitting your shots, the damage is pretty good. So when you have to defend for yourself, it's kind of hard. That's where the skill comes into play. But it is easier to heal, to focus on just healing your team and keeping your team alive, as opposed to healing and doing a little bit of damage. Again, as I stated before, you play as a team, you win as a team. DPS and tanks should really push, do some damage, but also at the same time focus on their healers. Healers should be focused really on healing the team, not so much of doing damage when you really need to. So the fact that it says there is no skill involved, I feel like there is skill involved, especially now with healers having to keep the team alive and also do a little bit of damage to protect themselves. There is a little bit of skill involved, but it is an easier role compared to DPS and tank. So I will state that. Rivals did address this situation as well and pretty much said that this season was more so focused on counterattacks and protecting healers and being fast-paced. And a lot of healers are not getting that protection, and they're not getting that protection from DPS or tanks from helping them out. They are pretty much forced to defend for themselves. And how did Rivals address and how they would fix this? Well, they addressed it by saying, let's increase damage for some of their healers. Now, I'm interested to see what healers get this damage increase and what healers don't. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be nerfs and buffs to healers, DPS, tanks, whatever the case might be. There's always going to be nerfs and buffs. And as gamers, we have to deal with that situation. It's going to happen in any game. It's going to happen in Rivals. It's going to happen in Overwatch. It happens in COD. It happens in Siege. It happens in general. And that's something that we have to live with. We have to just play for the meta. Whereas the meta right now is play 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 healers. Whereas back in the day, it was you could play 3 healers, 1 DPS, 2 tanks, or 1 tank, 2 DPS, 3 healers. Regardless, you have to play towards the meta in any game when it comes to nerfs and buffs. Nerfs and buffs are always going to be there, and it's something that us gamers have to live with. Another reason why people aren't playing healer is because they find healing boring. Now, for me, as a healer main, I don't find healing boring. I find it fun. And the reason why is because it's easy. I enjoy being supportive of my teammates, keep my teammates alive, so that way we can get a push and eventually get a win or lose, depending on what the situation is. But at the end of the day, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. We win as a team, we lose as a team, right? But people find healing boring. I get what they're coming from, especially if you're stuck playing healer 24/7. When you're hopping into a game and you're forced to play healer, it gets kind of boring, right? You feel like you're not doing enough for the team, especially if you're a person that likes doing damage and doing Call of Duty type stuff, running and gunning, doing damage, getting some kills. That's more so tanks and DPS jobs of doing that, whereas healer, you're not really focused on that. You're focused on getting heals. So if you're not a supportive person, I get why you think support is boring, but for me, I don't find support boring. I enjoy playing support. I enjoy being, like I said, being supportive of my team and getting a push and getting a defending round. So the fact that people find support boring, I get it, but hopefully this damage increase kind of bumps up the playability for support. Only time will tell to see what will happen with that, and hopefully it makes support fun again. But I will state that Rivals is kind of a casual competitive game, with it being third person, where when you're playing support, you can pretty much see your entire surroundings, whereas like Overwatch, where it being first person, you can't really see your full surroundings. So when you can see your full surroundings and being able to heal, doing a little bit of damage, it does get kind of boring after a while, but hopefully the increase in damage, because support does not have a lot of damage as compared to DPS and tank, kind of opens up the playability for support. So I just wanted to kind of come on here, talk about this healer strike a little bit. I still find it silly and ridiculous that we are doing this whole healer strike. I'm not on the healer strike at all. I couldn't care less about this healer strike. I'm still going to play healer. I still find it fun and enjoyable. But the fact that there is a healer strike going on right now in Rivals is just silly and ridiculous. I'm hoping that with this new elo system, it kind of does increase a little bit of the elo for some of the healers and some of the tanks, because they do deserve a little bit of love and deserve a little bit of elo buffs when we get a win. So I'm glad that Rivals did address this issue and they're working on fixing it. Do I think that Rivals will fall off? Absolutely not. Rivals is very good at listening to their community and fixing whatever needs to be fixed so people can have fun and enjoy the game. So the fact that Rivals was quick to address this issue, hopefully they find a way to correct it and make it better. Only time will tell with that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm sure they will go back to the drawing board and kind of fix things up to make things better, so that way people can all enjoy the game and have some fun. I just wanted to, like I said, come on, talk about that. Hopefully you'll all enjoyed the video. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. To the next video. Peace.